Hello, welcome, good evening to Blaine's Escape Corner, our little corner of the internet where we get together and talk about anime and how we can escape with it. I am freshly showered, so my hair is being funky today. So having some fun there, They're back. Oh, they're back, and they're talking about how parts of Shikimori are good. So we're going to follow up and laugh. Now, let's be very clear. If you watch Shikimori and it helps you escape, and you're able to enjoy that show, enjoy it, do it. If you're cast in that show as a voice actor, do your best. Be happy with it. I don't think it's great though, and it's my ability to laugh and make fun of it and critique it as much as I want. So that's what this is. And make your own corner if you wanna talk about how great it is. But we found a couple more articles talking about it being good, being a true man. Izumi's a true man who doesn't really have goals, and the world is all against him. Oh, it's gonna be funny. I'm excited for those. And then remember Dragon Ball? Remember how that was a show 30 years ago? Apparently it might have some troublesome LGBT representation in a show from 30 years ago made in another country. So I found that kind of interesting. It's like, why? Who brings this up? Oh man, I don't know who brings it up, but I'm ready to look at it and see what they think. Oh my goodness. A little housekeeping. Tomorrow I will not be streaming. I will be taking the day off. So enjoy a long weekend. I hope it is everything you need it to be. I know mine will be. So let's get us some more house. We're rocking it again. Mostly because it's the more full bottle or carton, whatever the heck you want to call this. Carton. Yeah. Let's be real specific with what we call our containers. Carton, cup, kompai. Those are the 3 C's. Even though kompai is spelled with a K. CCK. CCK. That's what we got. Let's get into our daily review update so that we can talk about what I watched. Because it's all about what I watched. That's what this whole show is about. What have I watched? What am I watching? Why am I watching it? Should I still watch it? And I ask myself that with RPG Real Estate. Because episode 1 was garbage. And not like fun trash, where you're like, haha, this is good, but silly. Like boring. Just straight boring. It's K-On! The fantasy real estate office. And I was like, Kanpai. Yes, you could pronounce it with a C. And I guess, technically it's written with a ka, so it's not like it's written in English. They just translate it somewhere else. So really it's our fault that we picked the K for the ka sound instead of the C for a ka sound. So that's on us. It could have been the 3 C's. We could have had that, but we will have to make do with what we have, I suppose. Anyway, RPG Real Estate started out boring. I was like, this is dumb. However, I was a real estate agent for 3 years, and I thought it might be interesting to see if they had anything real estatey as far as what they do, or someone's fantasy interpretation of that from another country, might be intriguing, might be something that could be unique. Plus, it is that like just starting a new job category of anime that I do enjoy. So I was like, all right, cool. We'll get into this. We'll see what it's like. Episode 2 comes along, and we get 3 homes that are weird and awful homes. And then it's like, oh, who's going to get in these homes? And it's like, oh, we found the mole people that want to live in the dirt house. And we found the fireman, or like the fire spirit that wants to live in the brick house. Like it's a big oven. And it was like, oh, okay. That was kind of a fun episode because I like those like guess episodes. Like, what's it going to be? What's the answer going to be? Heaven's Design Team did this a lot. And that's what I kind of hearkened it to. But now we're on episode 3. And we get somebody who isn't happy with any of the homes they're looking at. Then we get somebody who's trying to get rid of a home. And it's like, yeah, no, duh. Like, these 2 people are going to be connected. That's how it's going to work. What happened to, like, multiple people looking and multiple rooms that were different? Like, there's got to be somebody that can make up, like, a couple ideas for houses that they could use. Because having 1 and 1... boring. I would recommend this one drop. I'm going to continue on, if for no other reason. They do talk a little bit about real estate, and I'm like, it's kind of interesting to me. So if I've got time and I don't have anything else to do, I'll keep up with it. But let's call it a back burner. It's a semi drop. It is I'm not going to keep up with it every week, but I will peek in occasionally to see if it's gotten any good. I don't see it getting great though. So don't get your hopes up. If you're standing over there and you're like, oh come on, RPG real estate gonna be the best of the season. I love real estate. I love fantasy. I love the moi moi Q. I love cake eating girls. I want this to be real. Make this a thing. Make this happy. Sorry, I don't think this is gonna take the place of K-On! In your heart. So definitely pass on that one. Greatest Demon Lord Reborn is a typical nobody, getting further into the trash timeline where we have now introduced the greater force, some sort of ultimatum, some sort of demonic entity that is now taking over and attempting to wreak some form of control over a world that has gotten weak. And it starts out tournament arcy, where it's like, oh, we're gonna compete so that we can do things, but it doesn't really tournament arc because we don't really see the battles, and it's not really compelling. It's just like, oh, they're gonna win, because they've learned magic from the Demon Lord reincarnation. So kind of boring there, but it's hitting that trash phase 2. So phase 1 of the trash anime is they're OP, and we meet some friends and we build like a little friend group. Phase 2, this is where we get into there's a deep dark baddie from the past who's come back and is now going to take over the world. We're getting into that phase. Starting out strong on that note too. Killing Papa is a strong way to get into that. So definitely going to keep up with this one. Again, the next phase is going on the journey so that we can beat them and turn a couple of the baddies onto our side, which will depend if they're all demons. No. We can't turn demons over to our side. But if any of them have any human-like qualities, I think you know what I mean when I say human-like qualities, they will get absorbed into the harem, and then it'll be okay. So we're moving into phase 3 of a nice trash reincarnation fantasy, and that is going to be fun. Skeleton Knight is not he's not helping Granny cross the road anymore. Last episode he gets picked up by Maple, and although I guess Maple isn't the right thing to call her since Maple's the town. What is the right thing to call her? Arian Glenis. Arian. She rents him as a mercenary to go help save elf girls who are trapped and tied up, and he does, and we get introduced to ninjas, and it's very interesting, and you're like, whoa, this is way interesting. But he doesn't want them to know he's a skelly boy because he's still trying to be discreet, but now he's getting other thoughts like, maybe I won't be so discreet. So now it's like, no, go back. Just take the job on the board that says walk the kitten. Just take the job on the board that says chop logs with the old man. Go back. So we're getting farther into some sort of global plot. There's another faction that is at play here. We've got the elves versus the humans. There's the classic sort of classism or racism. We're not sure which. Probably gonna follow a racism storyline here with the elves versus people, and then he's of course the undead lich that is sort of uncaring and just like, I just do what I want to do and what I think is right. So all good there. Daemon Recipe for Happiness. Daemon continues to be fun and cute. Very, very interesting episode, I would say, because we don't really focus on our main pair becoming a better surrogate family. We do learn a little bit about one of their coworkers. We get that idea of like, oh, well, I'm in the same industry, but I can't inherit the business, so I'm over here learning to make snacks. Our main boy, future daddy man, is kind of reminiscing about how he wishes he touched the guitar more. But we do get a big reveal for Real Papa. So we've met Real Papa now, or at least we've got a name and a face for Real Papa. And Real Papa's still in town. So we've gotten that little bit of intrigue of like, hey, you know what? We're going to build this family. We're going to make this like found family thing go. But right around the corner, we got real family. And we're going to have to make a decision later in the show as to real family or found family. And big mystery what's going to win out, I think, on that one. We already have little Itsuka getting, showing a softer side, showing hey, we should do something that he can do too, or so that he can help out, or he can be a part of things. You know, while her character overall has been very dismissive of him, I think it definitely tracks that she would at least have some kind of like, he's an okay guy. He's not bad. He's trying his best. You know, he's trying his best, so I'm gonna include him. So those are what I watched yesterday and this morning, and we are all done with our review roundup. Make sure you let me know what you think about these shows. If you're watching on a replay, comment down below. Hit that like button. Always helps the algorithm to know that this show is fun. That we get together, we talk about what we think about the currently airing shows, and then we rant at people's hilarious takes on these. And we were graced with not one, but two articles this week. Or today, specifically today. By Louis Kemner again. So originally, our friend Louis Kemner here, he said, Shikimori's great. I can't wait. They're just like Mara and Gojo. They're just like Komi-san. This is fantastic. Skeleton Knight needs to do the classic skeleton laugh more often. If that means he reveals himself, then I'm down. That would be great if he had just a nervous tick of like doing that like skeleton laugh, like the like an old RPG game or something like that. That would be fun, and that people know that that's like the laugh of a skeleton. I'm interested to see when we finally get the reveal if him being a skeleton's even a known quantity. Like, is his lich status a thing people understand, or will they be like, how are you alive? Like, how are you a thing? Will that be just as confusing to people as his ability to use all of the magic that he apparently is godlike with? So I'm excited for that. I am excited for that. I'm also excited to get into this with our friend Lewis. I still don't know which it is, and I don't know that I care, because then I can say both and it'll be okay, because I'll be ignorant as to the truth. Louis. Started out saying how good it was, saying that clearly she was going to be the best, clearly that it was great. Wrote lines where Shikimori is mentioned, but Izumi isn't. And we're like, hey, you got to get on the train here. Shikimori's not great. She doesn't have any sort of character building. She doesn't have any kind of goals, anything like that. he is. This is his phase 4 where he's stumbling back. And we're stumbling back in the best way, because apparently Izumi embodies wholesome masculinity without even trying. Masculinity is one of those words that, like, has been completely changed based on who you talk to. And, like, that's okay, but it's also very difficult to discuss in a factual way, right? Masculinity has so many forms of being the strong stoic, of being the caring provider, of being the teacher, of being the there's all these things that we can equate with masculinity. In the end, though, masculinity ends up being whatever traits you attribute to the best parts of all the males in your life, right? Masculinity, like the way my grandfather just always professed his love for my grandmother, his like woodworking skills, the way my other grandfather was just unfazed by anything, and would just put on a smile and be able to take care of business, at all times. We take all of these traits that we see in the men in our lives, and we combine them into what we see is good masculinity, is true masculinity. And so then the idea comes along of, oh, well, there's just toxic masculinity, and you apply to that like anger and rage and all of this kind of stuff, and you're like, those are just bad things. There are angry and rageful femininity as well. It is none of these things are a positive or a negative, or are a male or a female thing expressly, but we have the conglomerate of what we see as all the men in the room, right? And so the idea that we're able to like specifically define wholesome masculinity without then also describing all of the best men in our lives is going to be very weird for me. So this will be an article. And already in the byline. And Shikimori is not just a cutie. The gentle Izumi is a kind boy who's clearly designed with the female gaze in mind. Episode 3 further proves this. Number 1, boy. Wholesome masculinity should not be tied with someone who you are calling a boy. There's a maturity that should come along with wholesome masculinity that should be, masculinity in general should be something you grow into. It's skills and traits you learn. You may be strong and stoic, but you're always learning to be better, because there's something that had like some chink in your armor that will break you at some point, and you need to learn how to deal with that. So the fact that someone is being classified as a boy immediately undercuts this idea of having wholesome masculinity. Gentle without saying gentleman, like, come on. And let's be real here. The female gaze is firmly affixed on JoJo. And we all know it. So, spoilers for episode 3 of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. Misfortune followed by Sunshine. Now streaming on Crunchyroll, by the way. Stream. Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie is a rom-com anime series that stars the relationship goals. character Yu Izumi and his popular girlfriend Shikimori, who enjoy a strong and wholesome relationship right from the beginning. Let's remember that Shikimori and her entire part in this relationship is that of protector, of caretaker, of parent, guardian, to make sure that he doesn't get hurt and die because of his bad luck. So right off the bat, you're trying to call out that they've got a good relationship. They don't. It's parasitic in nature. He is fully dependent on her just to survive. He's dependent on everyone in his life. He is a net suck to everyone that is around him. Everything in the way. Fans may soon draw comparisons between them and Marin and Gojo of Dress Up Darling fame, and for multiple reasons. No! I thought we fixed this in you! Did you write this before the last one that we read? I hope you did, because that's not the thing. Oh, let's see how this goes. These co-stars have a similar interpersonal dynamic as Marin and Gojo before them, and it's not just because Shikimori is a lively, cheerful young lady like Marin. There's also Izumi, who represents the version of masculinity that's all about gentle selfless strength rather than aggressive displays of power and authority. This may endear him to many fans, as episode 3's events show. Ooh. Izumi shows no strength specifically. Like, his only strength is that other people are keeping him alive. If we saw him getting physically injured or being able to, take a beating, like we've had bad luck characters in the past where their bad luck led to them being nigh unbreakable, like invincible. And that was like the joke, was like, oh, they've got such bad luck that they've been broken so many times that they can't break again. And we've seen that before, where like their weakness becomes their strength, right? But to compare that to these aggressive displays of power and authority, it's like, no, he's just searching for someone to protect him, to save him. And then he says, oh, I wish I could help. I wish I wasn't so weak. I wish I didn't do this. And then he just continues to do that. He falls asleep on the couch after eating while his girlfriend is over. A weirdo. Episode 3 of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie depicts Izumi and Shikimori on their first real date in the anime as they agree to go see a movie. Along the way, Izumi prepares himself to deal with his own outrageous clumsiness since he wants to provide for Shikimori and impress her as her loyal boyfriend, which is futile. Which is completely futile, because we've seen in this show that space itself will unfold, envelop his best laid plans, and then refold again. The worst trope in these characters' analysis are authors thinking they're comparing two characters count as an analysis. Yeah. Right? Like, you should be able to analyze the character without looking at another character. Like, we can look at Izumi and what he does and how he reacts and specifically call out flaws or pros in his character. But to always just say, remember that thing you like? I need that click from an article. I gotta get that keyword in here. If Marin's not in my article, I'm not gonna get it. Oh, loyal. His loyal boyfriend. He even ties a thick string to his wallet to avoid losing it, and shows off how ready he is to watch horror movies. Then offers to buy fancy desserts for himself and Shikimori. Unfortunately for him, most of these plans go amusingly wrong, and by the episode's end, Izumi feels inadequate as a boyfriend, but Shikimori feels differently. Here's what he could have done. And here we go. You ready? Have Shikimori meet you at your place. Give her your wallet. Give her all this stuff so that she doesn't have the bad luck that's going to lose it. Sure, it may look funny when she pulls your wallet out of her purse, but you need somebody to carry your testicles, because you're not going to make it through a day without space itself dropping a piranha from the sky to latch onto your scrot and tear it open, and you're going to lose them. So you might as well have her come on over to be able to, make sure that everything at least gets there at the end of the day. Meanwhile, you're like, oh, use a backpack. Oh, the straps of my backpack broke. Oh, my string broke. Well, no, shit, Sherlock. That happens every time. And I could have told you that would have happened. And I've only known you for like 20 minutes. You've known you for 14 years. I think you got this. I think you know when everything's going to fall apart. Just have her carry everything. It would have been fine. Oh. As she explains to Izumi's mother at the family household, Shikimori admires her boyfriend's selfless strength and courage and marvels at how he can work so hard to provide for everyone without asking for anything in return. What does he provide for anyone? Izumi has the gentle strength to face his own deficiencies, to make others happy, doggedly persistent, despite being an accident-prone boy. Not accident-prone boy. Bad luck curse boy. Also boy still. We're still calling him boy. Boy. Like that's not a man. Not a man, Tanta. Shikimori deeply admires his persistent ways to the point she might be the one who feels inadequate. She repays Izumi by defending him from danger as a heroic girlfriend, but perhaps both of them could do a little more. They need to raise the stakes for future episodes to make Shikimori's not just a cutie stand out. Okay. We've still got a hint. We still got a glimmer. Louis, you're still coming around. I believe in you. I believe it's still in there. I believe we can pull this out. But again, you're calling him a boy when the whole point of this is that they're masculine. It's like, I've never seen a child and been like, wow, that's a masculine child. They're gonna haul you away. Get out of here. Man would be masculine. He's stepping up to the plate. Now, how can we rework this? Like, if we were the show writers, make this fact that he has a bunch of bad luck and is able to take a beating important. Like, he's strong enough to take a beating. He smiles. Everybody's like, oh, are you okay? He's like, no, we're gonna be great. We got to keep going. We got to make sure that the day isn't ruined. You know, if physical things are happening to him, but he wants to make sure that things go on. You know, there we go. There we've got some strength. But like the fact that he's being protected all the time, that like there's this weird you know, he's gonna almost die if someone isn't taking care of him, makes that not able to happen. So we could definitely put some blame on the story here. But good job noticing, Louis, that they've got to improve. Since Izumi and Shikimori get along so well, the stake of Shikimori is not just a cutie have been fairly low thus far. He had a sign dropped on his head that would have killed him. Those are pretty high stakes. Oh, that's adequate for the first few episodes, but soon the couple will need to explore their respective character arcs. While Shikimori could stand to have more flaws or insecurities to balance things out, Izumi needs to emphasize his gentle masculinity even more and impress the viewers with it the same way he impresses his girlfriend. Oh boy, he does. He does have to impress us. Conflict is hard to set up, so we just have random events happen. That'll be the source of conflict. You know what'll make this interesting is if interesting things just happen. Just randomly happen. No, not like in Medias Res. No, not like in Deus Ex Machina. We're just gonna in show go happen thing. Oh. As of episode 3, Izumi is poised to be the next Miyamura Izumi from Horimiya. Is he? Who coincidentally shares his first name, or the next Gojo Wakana. These boys all represent the gentle, wholesome side of masculinity, which definitely appeals to the female gaze. Why is this a link? Why is that a link? Gojo is definitely written for the female gaze? A man who's working hard to provide for a woman? Yeah, working hard, providing, bringing a skill. He's got stuff he wants to do. He's got goals and aspirations. That's sexy to a woman. That's something that'll keep him around. But Izumi still needs to turn up the heat. And Horimiya's whole thing was that he just didn't really care what other people thought. He was like, yeah, whatever. They think I've got girly hair. They don't like my piercings. They don't blah, blah, blah. I just do it because I like it. I want to be this. And it's like that sort of aloofness that sort of, oh, he doesn't care. That attractiveness. It's so masculine. Like, well, he just doesn't care. I mean, anyone could not care. That's... Just because you don't care doesn't make you masculine. You could be feminine and not care too. But yeah, definitely anybody of the opposite sex is gonna like when you do stuff that helps and provides and cares and creates. Izumi proves that ideal masculinity is selfless, compassionate, and protective rather than vain and aggressive. Does he, or does he still need to turn up the heat? Does he actually have any masculinity? Oh, click. Going on. Which is a welcome sight for many anime fans. That said, he has done rather little to impress viewers so far. So is he the ideal of masculine selflessness, or is he not impressive? Because those can't both be true. We can't have an unimpressive, masculine, selfless, compassionate, protective. And how is he protective when everybody around him has to protect him? And people who are vain and aggressive aren't likable either way. Like, there's plenty, like, female or male. You're vain and aggressive, people are probably not going to like you unless they're really into that. That said, and fans have to take Shikimori's word for it that Izumi's strong spirit is so appealing. True. Future episodes of Shikimori's an idiot. She could just be dumb. He could have done something very small, and now she's just attached to him because humans are weird. We have no proof that he's anything like that. Future episodes of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie need to have Izumi dominate the scene with a more substantial show of generosity and courage. Dominate or selfless? Which is it? Okay, we can't have both. Such as standing up to bullies or taking on a difficult part-time job to financially support someone. If he takes on a part-time job, that shop is going to burst into flames, and you're going to lose that whole company, and everybody that works there isn't going to be able to make money. It's going to be awful. So don't do that. Don't do that. Or he may end up feeling weak. They're like a weak and forgettable hero. Hero how? Who has he saved? Can't even save himself. He's got the kernel of female gaze-worthy humble masculinity, but that's no excuse for him to just fall over and panic about things. So is it just being humble? Is that all it is? We just have to be humble and we'll be masculine? Goodness. Izumi could soon use a breakout scene that establishes him as someone gentle but strong, or Shikimori will leave him far behind in the race to be Spring 2022 season's best character. Weren't we just saying that she's falling behind? Oh, the tsundere debate. That's what you're linking to? Yeah, no. She's falling behind. We got glimmers. We got glimmers to still understanding, but this was done a day ago. So this was 24 hours ago. 15 hours ago. Shikimori's not just a cutie. Izumi and Shikimori are still learning about each other. Duh. Anytime two people are together, they're learning about each other. I don't care how long you've known somebody, you're probably learning something about them. And I don't mean like, oh, I just learned that that's your thing. Like, every new experience, you learn the way that they, like, you may be like, I'm going to bet you're going to respond this way to this experience, but you never know. Someone might respond different, and you're like, oh, I learned a new thing. I learned that they respond specifically to these stimuli. Episode 3 of Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. Izumi and Shikimori learn more about one another during their date, but have a long way to go. Long way to go. Written by Louis Kemner. Published 15 hours ago. How can you write so much? Jeez, he writes so much. That's a good question. We know they weren't dating in that flashback. I don't know if we've heard anything. Shikimori's blah blah just but it's not a wacky drama about two lovers slowly getting together. Oh, we found a spelling error. Wow. This never happens. Oh. Louis done over 4,000 articles in 3 years, and I just found a spelling error in one of them. That's amazing. That is a rate that the post office would be jealous of. Instead, Shikimori takes the Tonikawa over the moon for you route, meaning the two leads are already together when the story begins. This means the two lovers, Shikimori and her gentle boyfriend, because that's what we're going to call him from now on, have no real conflict between them. Gentle-eyed Izumi, that's what we're going to call him. Instead, they deal with external obstacles, such as Izumi's extreme clumsiness, and also spend time learning more about one another in episode 3. This reveals a lot about them and their relationship. That they've never talked about what kind of movies they like? Yeah, that tells us something. Of course, it could be Japanese dating versus American dating. Who knows? In episode 3, Shikimori and Izumi take a break from their high school comedy antics and agree on a weekend date at the movie theater. They spend some time in the lobby wondering which flick they should see while also trying to figure out each other's preferences in movies. Shikimori, when prompted, chooses a horror movie inspired by 2017's It. Given he can handle slasher movies just fine, Izumi gets much more scared of it than he expects, which Shikimori likewise didn't expect. Step 1. You want to know each other's preferences? Ask. Step 2. When someone tells you their preferences and it's not your preference, say something. Why is this so hard for people? I don't understand. Shikimori then gets herself invited to Izumi's household for an early dinner, where his mother asks some probing but polite questions to her son's girlfriend, including whether Shikimori wants to view photo albums of younger Izumi. This makes it clear that while Shikimori is aware of her boyfriend's parents, she has not yet spent much time with them and has never spoken to them without him present as well. The Izumis are eager to learn more about Shikimori and how she thinks, and they take the chance when Yu falls asleep on the couch. Again, who falls asleep immediately after dinner, unprompted, goes and finds the couch to lay down, because they're like laying there and they got their phone like and everything just setting next to them instead of like, oh, I fell asleep and it fell out of my hands or anything like that. It's like, who falls asleep like that? Is he just straight up narcoleptic? Is this just that classic cartoon narcolepsy where he's like, man, that was a good meal, and he's just gone? Doesn't make any sense. For all her popularity, Shikimori proves surprisingly mysterious to him and his parents. From personal opinions to movie preferences, there's still work to be done. Oh boy, is there. Episode 3 makes it evident that Izumi and his parents still don't know much about Shikimori, and neither do we, despite having such a high opinion of her. Which gives them... how is this a link? How is there always another link? Oh, too strong. Okay. Which gives them something to work on in future episodes. The couple can and should go on more fun outings together to explore each other's interests, seeing what they have in common to further solidify their relationship. They just might stumble upon a new mutual hobby together, or find a new favorite hangout spot, or even make a new mutual friend they can learn much more about one another along the way. Here's the deal. If we find out more and we don't find out that Shikimori was stolen from her parents as a child and taken to a place where she could be genetically altered to be perfect, and then released into the woods where she then had to fight bears and raccoons in order to gain the skills necessary to be able to protect against the coming infernal curse that happens every 1,000 years, and then they located the curse boy and they paired him up, then I don't know how this show is going to be any good, because what I just said was awesome, and of course it'll be great. How is this one a link to? Oh, I see. You link to a better couple. All of this also suggests that Shikimori's and Izumi's relationship, while solid, is still fairly new. Learning about a partner's preferences in movies is simple and a preliminary step to take. What kind of movies do you want to watch? What kind of movies would you watch? And if they haven't even gotten that far in episode 3, the relationship might only be a few weeks old. They're still exploring the basics with one another, which gives them plenty of room to advance their relationship and reveal much, not just to each other, but the audience as well. So far, Shikimori's not just a cutie viewers only know a few basic hooks or gimmicks about each character, such as Izumi's clumsiness and Shikimori's popularity, but it's the tiny details adding up that make for a complete person and dating partner. Yes, my dating partner. We date partly together, partnering together in the dates. School's just started. In the beginning, the parents know that Shikimori exists. They're like, "Oh, don't make her wait." And when they get to school, they say, "Oh, we get to be in class together again." So I get the feeling that if they haven't been dating, they're at least conscious of each other, at least aware of each other enough. Interesting. Yeah, we have no idea how he survived. In the flashback, he's literally head to toe in like bandages, like band-aids and wraps and the like head stuff and all these kind of things. And you're like, how do you survive? How are you alive? I don't understand. And his mom's like crying. She's like, I don't want my baby to go. He's gonna leave. And you're like, yeah, okay. I mean, your baby is gonna die if you don't keep on top of him. He literally has like a tree branch like stuck in his head in one of the flashbacks, and it's like squirting blood. You're like, how is he not dead? He's only not dead because they don't want him to be dead so that we could have him be this weird passive character. But like, again, I'm not crazy. I remember a show where the main character had a lot of bad luck, but they had so much bad luck that they ended up being really strong because like their bones had broken so many times that they couldn't break anymore. What? I can do this. Come on, Google, be my friend. Anime with bad luck guy, broken bones, strong. Non-baka? No, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right at all. Bad luck guy who is now strong. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look up for that or look around for that. Because I swear it was like an entire like part of the show was like, well, you know, I've been dealing with getting hurt so much I just can't get hurt anymore. And it made him like super strong for some reason. And no, this article isn't helping me. So I'll look into that later. For something fun, if you want to do something fun and silly, Rascal the Raccoon is free on YouTube for a limited time. This is a silly little show that a lot of really older people in Japan will love. No, it's not Unbreakable the movie. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Like, it's specifically anime. I remember it anime. Because it was from his bad luck. Because he was like, how are you going to survive? He's like, because I've been broken too many times. Whatever. I swear, it's not the movie. But you can watch old anime on YouTube for a short amount of time. Rascal the Raccoon. It's super cute. It's about a raccoon and a boy. And it's funny because it's like, wow, this used to be entertainment. It's adorable. I love the raccoon. I love sort of the plushies that come from the raccoon. But a very silly overall show. Also, if Record of Ragnarok, maybe? Hold on. Record of Ragnarok. No, that's just the guy that loses every time. Unless there's somebody else in there specifically that you're referencing that I don't remember. But no, I specifically remember high school kid, bad luck. He specifically his bone. Like, he's like, I've been hurt and bruised and banged up so many times. You're not gonna. Maybe it's a fate. Like, it really feels like one of those where it's just like there's too many characters to care about, but this one character has this interesting take. Baki? No, still not Baki. I'll look at it. I'll see if I can figure it out. I've got a whole weekend since I'm not going to be on tomorrow, so I'll figure it out and I'll report back. Maybe I'll post it on Twitter or Discord or something, so that I can do that. If you want to really feel like the most otaku, Tezuka now has an English Twitter, so you can follow them and you can get English takes on Tezuka stuff. Warning: this will immediately make you 10 times more otaku and 1,000 times more pretentious than you ever thought you could be in your life. So, word of warning before you jump into that. Just know that you're immediately going to be like, Simba? More like Kimba the White Lion. I only watch anime that occurred before 1987. Oh. All right. Let's get into Dragon Ball. And let's see Dragon Ball's terrible LGBT representation. Just the LGBT part, though, not the rest of it. And why it needs to be fixed. Fixed how? Fixed as in you're going to go change the manga? You're going to go reanimate the show? What? Fixed? Fixed how? Dragon Ball franchise is well loved, long history, hundreds of characters, but its LGBT representation is disappointing to say the least. Are you telling me there aren't a lot of aliens in the LGBT spectrum that are wanting to beat each other up and throw power rays into each other's giant bulging muscles? Time machine. Just give them the like not even like the light beams, like just where they just do black over the entire screen like it's the JoJo censorship. Jonathan Greenell. Jonathan Grenell's been writing for many years and has written for several websites, poetry collections, and short fiction collections. They're also an analog game designer who has written and published several popular role-playing games. A lifelong anime fan ever since their first exposure to Sailor Moon and Revolutionary Girl Utena, Jonathan loves talking about anime, from big hits to the weird and wonderful corners that are often not often overlooked. They write original short fiction on their blog and keep track of all their projects on their portfolio. You can also follow them on Twitter to hear them talk about games, anime, and everything else. So let's see. Let's see what this specimen wants to tell us about why it's terrible. It doesn't look too terrible. Looks like Freddie Mercury is now taking over the army. Looking nice and jacked here. And I don't know. Who's the blonde guy? David Bowie. David Bowie looking like he's made some ranks, so good for him. Dragon Ball is one of the biggest and most famous anime and manga franchises since it debuted in 1984. 1984! The franchise has introduced hundreds of characters, from the simple to the strange, but despite this massive cast, Dragon Ball has always struggled with representation. Representation how? And nowhere is this better seen than with its terrible handling of LGBT characters. Why is this a link? Why are there always links on these? Boruto just teased a massive LGBT romance. But why is there always a link? Dragon Ball has only had 2 characters with any in-universe confirmation of their LGBT status. Okay. Remind me. Namekians basically clone each other, like, asexually. Is it like... It's an entire universe and world where, like, other things and weird things happen. Like, just because we're on Earth, like, 1,000 years in the future doesn't mean that everybody is gonna suddenly be LGBT. I don't understand. Maybe the argument is that there aren't enough of them. Maybe that's what the argument's going to be. That they need more. The first was General Blue, who made his debut in the first episode of Dragon Ball's General Blue Saga. The General's sexuality is obviously hinted at when he acts disgusted by Bulma's attempt to seduce him. In fact, when Bulma and Krillin accuse him of being gay, he reacts in a very shocked manner, as if he's trying and failing to hide his sexuality, which to many fans confirmed that the character was meant to be gay. Yeah, okay. He's trying to, like, be strong and in charge, and it's, 1984. When was the General Blue Saga? When was this? General Blue Saga. When was this written? Manga chapter 70 years? 1986. Yeah, so in 1986, we had Don't Ask, Don't Tell in the military. He was probably going with that joke. Goodness. What are you going to do? This is made worse by the episode Strange Visitor, watch out. In the Japanese version, Blue is shown flirting with a young boy called Obachaman, including offering to buy the boy clothes. However, when Obachaman turned him down, Blue acted like a scorned lover. In fact, this whole scene plays on the horribly outdated and offensive trope of gay men being sexual predators. Thankfully, the dub changes to have Blue mistake Obachaman for his long-lost brother Samuel. However, despite this, the scene still has creepy undertones. Let him be creepy! Isn't the Red Ribbon Army supposed to be, like, Nazis or something like that? Like, they're not supposed to be good guys. He's supposed to be evil. He can be evil and gay. You're allowed to be both. Like, why change it? Why did we have to change it in the dub? And why is this a link again? Why is it always a link? Make more sense censored? Ugh. I don't want to read that right now, but why is there always a link? As also, General Blue's general personality is built around several offensive homosexual stereotypes. The most notable is that he's very effeminate, even using Japanese words and phrases usually reserved for women. Yeah, because they have a gendered language, so if they speak, they would speak with the female words. Like that. In 1986! That's how anyone knew anything about someone's sexuality back then, was like how they referenced themselves and how they acted, whether they acted more effeminately or more masculinely, which at the time was you either looked like Arnold Schwarzenegger or you acted like a damsel in distress. That was 1986. Let's not get so offended by it. Even worse, General Blue is heavily inspired by Nazis! So it is not good if a Nazi likes a boy. We had to change that. Nazis can't be that bad, but they are pretty bad because he's inspired by Nazi officers. This is seen in his general demeanor and look, with his uniform resembling the ones worn by Nazi officers during the Second World War. Having one of the few obviously gay-coded characters be constantly ridiculed and heavily implied to be a Nazi is highly offensive, especially when no other gay characters are present in the story to counteract this. The other characters are a little boy alien who's got crazy powers, the strongest human on Earth, a girl whose dad is a bajillionaire. Like, how many more people do you need? You've got other, you've got cat people. And we all know Mr. Popo. We've heard the tapes. We've heard the tapes about Mr. Popo. Why is it a negative to just let the Nazi be gay? Just let him be gay. It's okay. What's the counter? That he needed to be the superhero? That Goku should have been gay? Like, that's not That's not any better than you're just like making this like perfect entity, and it's like just let it be funny. And here we have Freddie Mercury, the jacked beefcake. The other implied gay character in the series is Otokoski. Why is that so Russian? During the Peaceful World saga, Otokoski enters the 28th World Martial Arts Tournament where he is matched against Trunks. He is shown to be obviously attracted to him and even promised to not hurt or damage Trunks' face, which makes Trunks extremely uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm sorry. Are we not allowed to be uncomfortable if somebody hits on us that we don't find attractive? Like, I thought that was our right to be like, no, walk away. No, you aren't allowed to say that. You make me uncomfortable. Also in the anime, Goten refers to Otokoski as not normal, a jab at his obvious homosexual coding. Yeah, because Goten's a baby. Like, he's eternally 5 years old. 5-year-olds would be like, nah, he's not doing what daddy does. That makes it not normal. Yeah, anyone who acts like that would be not normal to a kid. The kid's 5. The kid only knows what his dad does. Like, that's normal. That's a normal thing for a child to say. A jab at his obvious homosexual coding. Much like General Blue, Otokoski plays on stereotypes, having hints of effeminacy and dressing like a member of the village people. And this is another example of gay-coded character acting in a predatory manner. It's not predatory. It's like, oh, I'm not going to hit you because you got the pretty face. I don't want to break you. Would it be better if he was like, I'm going to destroy you, I'm going to shatter your brains, and I'm going to leave you spilting of blood all over the place? Like, it just doesn't. What's the alternative? What's the alternative? Why is these too bad? And again, Peaceful World Saga. Last one was 1986. Peaceful World Saga, what was that? 92? Let's see. 95. I was close. 1995. That was 25 years ago. 27 years ago? Maybe more. No, 27 years ago. 28 years ago? Gosh, I don't know years. Dragon Ball is a legendary franchise and one of the most trailblazing anime and manga franchises ever. These depictions, while offensive, do not take away from the series' legacy. Thank you for that. Thank you for letting us have a legacy on this show, or the work put into it. However, it is a shame that the only gay characters play on derogatory stereotypes that and only exist to be laughed at. In a universe as big as Dragon Ball's, there's a room for a new gay character who isn't based on horrible and offensive stereotypes. Hopefully one is introduced, and if only as a short-term, and even if only as a short-term or background character. All right, so how many Dragon Ball characters are introduced that we aren't told one way or the other? Why aren't any of them just considered, yeah, you know what? Maybe they were gay. We don't know. Like how is that not a part of the analysis of like, well, these two were obviously secretly or implied gay? Like, if you're implying it for these characters because they're gay coded, then what about the characters that just exist? Like, there's plenty of random people. Who's that alien boy? DBS alien. Redouble with Damon Mills playing these characters. Don't change the script though. Exactly. What's is it alien? Jocko. Does Jocko have a wife? Do we know that for a fact? Ex-girlfriend. Jocko. There we go. Here's your new LGBT character. This is Jocko the alien. Ex-girlfriend because he found out that he really wasn't too attracted to her. And you know what? He wasn't attracted to her because he's gay. And it works out. And it's okay. And he's just a normal character. Boom. Fixed it. Fixed it for ya. Don't worry, Jonathan Greenell. I fixed it for ya. See how we just don't care? Like, most of the characters in the story, like, what their sexuality isn't important. The only ones that it is important for would be Goku, would be Vegeta, because they are furthering the Saiyan race. Gohan, you know, the whole point of them being the last of their species, and they can sort of continue on the Super Saiyans. Like, that would be the only really important part about sexuality in that show. The rest of it is a show about big, burly, muscly men getting sweaty while they smash each other with their ki blasts. So let's not read too far into it. It's okay. We can all laugh at the silliness of this whole thing. Like, why do we care? Why was that article so short? Who writes these things, and why? You make analog games. You have a blog. You got a portfolio of stuff. Oh, your blog is called Starshine Scribbles. Oh my. Oh. Good morning, starshine. The earth says hello. You sprinkle above us, we sprinkle below. Oh my goodness. All right, maybe I've got some time to figure out if King Kai's wish makes sense. Oh, but I don't know why. I don't know. The only wish I remember in Dragon Ball that made sense was the wish for Bulma's panties. That was hilarious, and that needs to be the wish every time the dragon comes out. Like, I know we had to, like, bring some people back from the dead, and we had to, you know, keep the story going and save planets, but, I mean, come on. Like, it would be way funnier if every dragon wish was just somebody else's panties. Like, that would be the Dragon Ball that I want. Oh, I just don't understand the need to go back and yell about characters from 1986 and 1995. They're not current characters. Like, why isn't the article focusing on, like, all the characters in Dragon Ball Super's tournament arc and what their sexuality is? I mean, like, Khalifa lives with what's her face? Like, is she not LGBT? Is she not in the group? With what's the other one? Khalifa and Kale. Yeah. Are they not? They fusion. Isn't that the whole joke? Is that fusing is sensual? Is the combining of two people? Is the interpretation togetherness? I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, who spends time in their day and says, you know what? I don't like the way that character was done. I don't like the way that character was written. I don't think that was good. Like, the whole point of escapism, and specifically anime escapism, is it's something that kind of like pulls you out of reality, pulls you out of life. It brings you into this story, brings you into a world, something fantastical. Even if it's not fantasy, even if it's very down to earth, grounded, real, things still occur in the show that may or may that are fully contrived. Like, the entire thing, the entire story is designed to suck you in and get you enjoying it and get you watching it. Why is it so important? Why is that something that you dedicate your time to? You're like, you know what, I gotta let the people know that I'm not happy with these two gay characters from 1986 and 1995. Like, that's just not, they weren't well done. I'm not going to provide an example of what is well done. I'm not going to provide an idea of, like, oh, maybe these characters in the modern show could be gay or lesbian or whatever they want to be. Like, it took me 2 seconds to be like, oh yeah, Khalifa and Kale, they could easily be LGBT, and we'd be fine with it. It wouldn't be a thing because it's not important to their character. What's important to their character is that they want to fight, they want to get stronger, they want to be better, they want to win, they want to learn the new Super Saiyan thing. Like, that's what's important to their character. What's important to their character is what they do, which takes us back to why Gojo's so great. Why Komi is so great, why Marin is so great, why Shikimori is so bad, why Izumi sucks so bad. Because people with goals, people with aspirations, people with things they want to do are what we want, right? They're what we want to see. They're what we want to experience and enjoy. Like even look at a BL or a Yuri show, right? Like we're looking at people, the good ones, where they have goals. Like everybody was all hot and bothered about Given, right? Ooh, but they had the goal of playing music, of developing this band, of improving their craft. And so when the romance takes that back seat to somebody's goals and becomes something that grows from people chasing their passions, that's when we get good shows. That's when we get shows where we're enticed and excited by it, and we're pulled into that world. It helps us escape. It helps us dive into a show, is when the show features people that are interesting, and they're interesting because they have passions and they have goals. They have stuff that they're trying to achieve, and we want to see them achieve that. We want to see them get to that, and we want to see how they're going to overcome their current failure that makes it so that they can't reach that goal, right? And overcoming your current failure doesn't mean, oh, this is my sexuality, this is who I am. That's not a failure. And if that's a failure, you're thinking about yourself wrong. You're thinking about that whole thing wrong. Just be who you are, but have goals and aspirations and things you want to do and things you want to attack and go for and reach and achieve, and how you're going to do it and how you want to do it. Because so much of that is so much more important to who you are as a character, right? And the characters we watch on show are better characters when they have these goals. We love Gojo because he really wants to draw doll faces, but he sucks at it and he's not good at it. He's pretty good at the clothing part, but he's not great at the doll face part. We want to see him get better. But you know what? He's really good at this clothing thing, so he's going to start experiencing this. And guess what? Those experiences, those things help him overcome the challenges of relaxing and just getting better at his craft and being better at doing things, right? We don't really care that he's in a heterosexual relationship. I mean, easily. Dress Up Darling could have easily been a Yuri or a Yaoi. And it would have been just as good as a story if the two people were still going for their goals. It's so fascinating to me that people get so hung up on the escapism from that point of view, and when there's so much that's so good. Like that article specifically had to say like, oh, I don't want to take away from the legendary status of Dragon Ball. Well, don't. You clearly enjoyed Utena. Write a show about Utena and how it expressed lesbians in the 90s, or I mean, was the manga in the 80s probably? I don't actually know off the top of my head, but like there's so many examples of things that you could take and be like, well, this is really good LGBT in manga or in anime. Like go write an article about that if that's what your passion is. Why are you picking Dragon Ball? Is it because Dragon Ball is popular and you need clicks on this article? How does that art, like, I still don't understand how these people keep writing these articles every day. It's exhausting just reading them. I can't keep up with all these articles. Oh my goodness. What else we got? Anything else happen? Do. I don't know. Hard to find news right now. Everybody's shouting about how Twitter is being purchased or not being purchased, or is being bought or is being not bought by Elon, and that's like the whole world is screaming about that. I was shocked when I saw those two articles about Shikimori pop up. That was great. That was great. It was good content timing there. We have the results from the polls yet? No. Gosh, I feel old. Every time I do one of these polls, it's like gender, male, female, others, age, 14 and under, 15 to 17, 18 to 21, 22 to 25, 26 to 30, 30 plus. And I'm like, yep, 31 plus. That's me. Gosh, Golf Girls. So good. It needs to be on top of the list more often. Goodness, I love it. I love that show so much. I'm excited for more Couple of Cuckoos. What else is coming out this weekend? Any formula racing? Last week was really fun. No, I don't think so. I really like formula racing, by the way. I try to keep up with it every weekend. It is. Oh, it's coming to Miami next, right? Ooh, Miami race. That'd be fun. We need to have a Japanese studio that sponsors one of the formula teams, so that we can have a straight up Itasha formula car running down the track. That would be fantastic. That would be great. I want that to be reality. I want that to be the world that I live in, when an anime studio can make enough money to sponsor a formula team, and then we can get you can just get some screaming formula car rolling down the road. That would be great. That would be great. That's it for me. I thought that LGBT article would be longer and more interesting. It definitely isn't, and it wasn't. That was not a fantastic one. Again, if you're gonna write an article that says like, hey, this thing that they did wasn't really great, give examples about how it can improve. Because telling somebody that something was bad is sort of mid, and it's like, okay, so what? It was bad. Who cares? Telling somebody that something was good, also equally mid. Like, who cares? They don't really know how they can make it better, or how they can improve. Say, here is what I liked. Here's what I didn't like. Here's what I would like to see. You know, what would I like to see? You know, if you're so upset with the village people and the gay Nazi, then what do you want to see? How do you want it to go down? What is your goal with the show? Tell me. Let me see it. Let me see what you would do, Mr. Writer, Mr. Starshine. Tell us. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see Louis come around. We got another episode of Shikimori coming out this weekend. And then I'm hoping to schedule something with Bill so that we can do a like a psychoanalysis on Shikimori and their relationship from a counselor's perspective. So we can get not just me saying that it's a bad relationship, but let's see what someone who's actually in the field that would be giving them a psychological profile would think about this relationship, because I don't think it's healthy, and I think they're going to agree with us. So we'll find out. We'll get the official take hopefully next week sometime. And again, I'm not going to be streaming tomorrow, but I will see you all. Ever watch Valkyrie Drive Mermaid? Yes, I have. Valkyrie Drive is such a weird show because it's randomly really good, but it's also just borderline hentai like half the time. Like and not even half the time if you're watching it like uncensored. It's just like, well, I could watch something better if I needed to. This is just a weird show. I think the Giantess episode is great for memes. And I think the entire premise is just hilarious. But I can't bring myself to like finish the whole series or finish, you know, whatever amount of shows there are. It's like I could watch something better right now. Oh, what's going on? Call me John. 30 minutes behind. I'll talk even slower so that you can I'll talk slower so you never catch up. That's how it works, right? That's how, if they watch at 1.5 speed, but I talk at half speed, then they'll never reach the now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend. Gonna relax, having dinner with friends. That's why I can't stream tomorrow, because we've got a double date going on tomorrow, so that'll be exciting. Gonna be, again, there's more Shikimori. I hope this new Shikimori episode comes out and that Louis realizes that Shikimori's not good. That's what I want to see. I want to see Shikimori drop in its places. Pull up a weekly poll. Anime weekly polls. No, I want to see the results. So right now, Shikimori is 3rd on Annie Trends. Who is rating things on Annie Trends? What about Anime Corner, right? Was it the other one? Yeah. Anime of the week, week 3. That's better. Down at 8th place. 8th place I could grant you just because it's really well drawn. I could see that. But who on Annie Trends is getting that so far up there? Episode 6 and finally realizes it won't get better. But they're too dug in at episode 6 in order to improve. They're like, no, I've watched 6 episodes of this show. It's gotta get better. I've got to see an improvement. Demolition, put him in any building and it would just fall down around him. Okay, that's the one job you could do for him, but you'd have to throw him in one of those like EOD suits before he goes in there, so they by 8 all of his articles will be super spiteful. Oh my goodness. No, by episode 8 or 9, all of the articles are, well, in the manga, well, if they ever make a season 2, those will be what he's saying. It'll be this constant push for the next one and the next one. Oh my goodness. We should let's put our friend in an EOD suit. Now that I've said that, I think that'll be funny. Izumi. Let's do some crappy Photoshop here. Put this here, and we'll open up this. We'll stick it on my background because we can. Izumi Shikim. I'm just going to pop this. Plop, plop. All right. Here we go. Let's do some Photoshop. Let's take EOD suit. We'll use this classic EOD suit here. Oh, why is that so tiny? New tab. Oh, it's a tiny image. How is that a tiny image? It says it's like 1,000 pixels. Interesting. What about this one? Nope. How is that image so tiny? That's hilarious how tiny that thing is. It is tiny, even though it says it's a bajillion pixels. Well, come on. Give me a nice one. There we go. We'll use this one. Pop. And we got that sort of front on. Ooh, I like this one. I like his pop. I like how concerned he is here. So Izumi sucks. Boom, look at me titling stuff. We'll just use this. Bump up our tolerance. We'll hit 30. Boom, boom. There we go. Now we're clicking with gas. Oh, that's too much. I need 20. 20. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, bum, ba-da, bum, bum. Bum, bum. Was the Broken Bones show da da da? Oh, maybe it was. Yes. Hold on. Draw. Shizuo. Yes, because he's got crazy strength. And his bones break all the time because of his crazy strength. That's what it was. Thank you. Thank you. We figured it out. I like this because he's got that little bit of like sweat going, so this will work. This will work. Blah 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 blah. Get out of here. Get out of here. Messy Photoshop. Blah 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 blah. Boop. All right, here we go. This is a little behind the scenes magic for you since I'm going to be gone tomorrow. Do. This is how I make these things. I just use some quick masking of things. And actually let's actually keep it big. Let's bring this one. Let's make this one nice and huge and pixelated. Can't believe you figured out the Broken Bones thing. Let's go like this. Oh, that's ugly. There we go. There we go. Nice and gross. Nice and grossly big. Okay, so let's get his face in there. There we go. All right, and then we're going to blop. Oops, wrong one. Blop, 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 blop. Okay. This one and release it. Select the inverse again. Wop. Oh yeah, no. It's so stupid. Let's see if I do. I just give it a little opaque. Yeah, that's gonna make it feel like he's actually reflecting on there. All right. Get rid of all this background crap. Get out of here, background crap. All your pixelaty backgroundy stuff. Boom, 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 boom. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum, bum. Select the inverse on that. Map it out. Erase all this gobbledygook. Who cares? It's a thumbnail. It will be really tiny when you look at it. And then we need a building falling apart. Do. Fix that out a little bit. Boop. There we go. Let's see. Building and demolition. Oh, it's just a bunch of demolition companies. But do keep it simple. No, that's too small. That's too simple. Oof. Nope, that one will be bad. That'll be bad. That's not going to be easy. Oh, this one might work. Copy. Boom, boom. What? Why are they? Why are these images say they're big and then they come out and they're all like, meh, so tiny? How does nobody have a big photo of a building falling apart or blowing up? Explosion. Building. Great. I'm going on an FBI watch list now. Not even gonna get good images. Anime explosion. Nope. Nope. Hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh well. Oh well. You know what I really need to do though is I should probably just put on some anime waifus behind him. We'll just open up Shikimori. There we go. Boom, boom. Ba-doom doom. Whop. Make it pixelated and rough. That makes it better. And we can move my eyeballs over here and my hair over here. What is going on? Oh, that's right. We got to remove. Izumi sucks. Wait, let me move me. No, I can hide back there. That'll work. Cool. Izumi sucks. Izumi sucks, and Dragon Ball has apparently bad gay characters because you're not willing to say that any other characters are gay in it. So, anyway, what a fun show. What an enjoyable night. What a great evening. Once again, I will be off tomorrow, but I will be back on Monday with plenty of reviews. Monday might end up being a review-only show just because of how many shows I'll be able to catch up on and watch. And that might take up the entirety of our hour and a half, so that we can go from there. So you have a wonderful rest of your evening. Enjoy anime, enjoy your escapes. Don't let anybody tell you that they're bad. Even if I don't like your anime, laugh at the jokes I make about it and then move on and enjoy it. And that's what we should all do. That's true masculinity right there. If you want to be more masculine than Izumi, that's what you do. You laugh when someone makes fun of your show and you giggle and then you go and enjoy it anyway. So have a wonderful rest of your evening and I'll see you next time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Kampai.